horrible things happened on Earth. Basically, I figure humans basically destroyed themselves, and hobbits reappeared to reclaim Earth. We have a Hobbit-themed naming convention with all of our stuff, so that sort of makes sense to me. That's why our population's so low, because Earth basically got rebooted, is what happened. But yeah, for whatever reason, the game starts you off by default with a 500 million people, 500 million people, on Earth by default. I mean, you can tweak those numbers and things, but so it's growing again. But we have shipped 5 million people off to Mars. Now, Mars, we are currently busy terraforming. There's an environment over here. Man, this... I meant to download a mod to change some of the colors of things, because this is like font on blue. Oh, it hurts my eyes. I definitely have to go into squint mode at some point. So if we look at the environment over here, there's a lot of... Mars is not, you know, we can't just live on Mars as is. Because it doesn't have much in the way of atmosphere. There's very little air over here. And it's cold as heck, mostly because we don't have an atmosphere to provide sort of a greenhouse effect. I mean, it's a little further from the sun, yes, but that's about it. The big problem is there's not enough atmosphere. So because of the temperature and lack of breathable atmosphere, we have a colony cost. It uses, as far as we can tell, the highest number of these as the cost, but we currently do have like a 5% discount thing. So it's slightly below 2. And this determines how much infrastructure we need for people living here. And infrastructure is just a generic thing, but you can think of it as like, it's probably like, you know, domes and things like that. So we need 195 infrastructure per million pops, and we don't have that much. We have 1,500 infrastructure over here. Oh, wait. Did this number just update? Oh no, I was looking at population capacity over here. Oh! Hold on a sec. We're fine. The population capacity is 3.4 billion. I thought this was 3.4 million over here, but I think this is 3,410 million is what this is. So 3.4 billion. Currently, right over here, population supported by infrastructure. Because I'm like, hold on, did the numbers update? So currently we can have 7.75. So that's a point as opposed to a comma. Okay. Fonts are small. Eyes are getting old. So yeah, we have enough for the people that are there right now. We can ship more infrastructure over, but the other thing is if we keep improving the environment, then we are also going to need less infrastructures because as we get things better. Currently, we're pumping... I don't know why they changed it. I guess giving it a name makes it a little bit more realistic, but... or like, you know, something more detailed. You buy into the story a bit more. But this is a made-up greenhouse gas, and it used to be in the VBS version of this game. I think it was just called safe greenhouse gases. So currently we're pumping this gas into the atmosphere because it is cold. We need some greenhouse effects. We've already improved things. Our surface temperature has gotten a little bit better, but it's still cold AF. And right now the temperature factor is the biggest factor in terms of livability of this place. Plus, if we're just pumping any gas whatsoever, we're increasing the overall pressure. Currently, the gas that's most present in Mars' atmosphere is in fact our greenhouse gas over here at 0.0071 atmospheres. Ideally, we would like to get our atmosphere to, say, about 1. You know, same as Earth. So we got a long way to go. We are currently researching over on Earth. We are researching the next step of terraforming rate. And actually, right before the stream started, I did move a few of our labs around. I think I took it out of the wealth generation and added more labs to the terraforming rate over here. The terraforming on Mars, by the way, is happening because we have 5 terraforming installations, which actually isn't that much. And so I'm tempted to... Now, later on, we can get ships that terraform. We can also get space stations that terraform that we can then tow into position with tractor beams, which we are researching. So I think what I might like to do over on Earth is actually construct more terraforming facilities, which is in the queue. This is after our research labs, which honestly might not be the worst order. I think what we need on Earth, though, is we do need more construction, so that things can happen a little bit faster. We've got some available workers over here. I would like to build some more construction buildings as well. Maybe, you know what? How much construction do we have now? 492, which is an awkward number. Let's make 33. So we'll end up at 525. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to down queue the research, and then I'm going to up queue the construction. Of course, the more construction we have, the faster everything gets built. And actually finishing these construction things won't take too long. It'll take about 6 months. We're in December of 36. This is going to be May of 37. So about half a year we'll finish all these. We'll build a little faster. Then we're going to go into terraforming installations so that we can ship them to Mars so that it can terraform a little faster. And then we'll go back to making research facilities. I think I like that. I like terraforming Death Stars. I mean, we can. The thing is, we can build massive ships and we can imagine them to look like whatever they want. So if we build a massive enough ship, it can just be a Death Star. I don't think they've got planet-destroying weapons in Aurora, but wouldn't it be nice? Oh, there, Kravik, thank you. You're an aerospace engineer working on the CH-53K program. I wonder if I can just Google CH-53K. What is? Oh, the helicopter! Neat! Super cool! Alright, so Star Ruler can always just scale up. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're right. You can aggressively terraform planets. That is entirely a thing that you can do, and then you can wipe out all the population on there. Okay, I think that's going to be fine. So we have gone through a few jump points. So with Sol, from there, we visited 3 extra systems. This system over here, I don't remember what its name used to be, but we renamed it to Empty. We left the number over here. It's a completely empty system. I don't remember. There may have been... Yeah, unsurveyed grav survey locations. Oh, those are just more jump points. So I don't even know if there's asteroids or comets or anything in there. It was pretty dead. We've also got Proxima Centauri and Tau Ceti over here, which we are exploring. Now, if we go to... So we don't need this screen. If we go to... Which one's the system? Is this one here? We can check these other ones. So I think someone said in Proxima Centauri, yeah, we have an Earth-like planet here. M3, it is a colony cost of 1.9 because it does not have a breathable atmosphere. It has decent gravity. It doesn't have enough oxygen is really it. It's actually got an atmosphere that's about half as dense as Earth's atmosphere, which isn't terrible. So we need some oxygen in there, and then the temperature, it's really cold. So we would need some greenhouse gases to improve the temp as well. But really, yeah, the lack of breathable atmosphere is the 2.0, and then we have a 0.84 cost because of the temperature. But this would be less painful for us to terraform. It ain't bad at all. So that's quite cool. Anything neat in Tau Ceti? Not so much. You can see the colony's cost is fairly high on those. I mean, you know, certain things can be terraformed, but yeah, Proxima Centauri A2, because Proxima Centauri is a binary star system. If we go Proxima Centauri over here, we should be able to see, there you go, twin stars. No, sorry, that's the planet. Where's the other star? Is it this? Am I crazy? No, oh, no, hold on. There's Proxima Centauri and Proxima Centauri A. This star, is it the yellow dot? I mean, there's one here. Can you not zoom to these? Alpha Centauri is a double star system. Looks like only one star. It's trying to, I mean, in real life, yeah. What does it look like when we go to Sol? Oops. Yeah, Sol A. Huh. Because I know this can do binary systems. But I don't see it here. Proxima Centauri is the 3rd star of Alpha Centauri. Okay. So it's Proxima Centauri directly over here. Okay, that might be it. Anyway, we've got some exploration ships, oot and a boot. We've got our various, what do we call them? Where's my fleets? Yeah, our jump scout ships over here. So we got the Hrolf Pajama, which I guess is our class, and then we have the 1, 2, 3. And they're buzzing around doing things. One of these 3 ships is primarily scanning jump points, I think. Although I may have changed their job, because I didn't want to pop too many of the jump points too quickly. Because I don't want to run into too many aliens too quickly. Yeah, survey nearest planet. survey nearest body, so we're shaking it up. Some are focusing on planets first. So this one's focusing on planets. And then these are just whatever's closer, including asteroids and whatever. We've got no one going through any more jump points right now, which is good because we don't want to pop like an enemy fleet too soon because we don't have any military. And that's one of the things we want to focus on today. In particular, the people on Mars are getting a little cranky. They want 3 protection. They currently have 0. So I think we can do it with ground infantry. Did we figure something like that? But also we could maybe make some military ships. I figure we'll try to make our first military ship and see how that feels. Ground troops will delay unrest. By delay, does it count as protection or does it just delay the building up of it if you've got insufficient protection? Give those people air. We're doing a Total Recall kind of vibe here. Yeah, cruisers or small scale start. Yeah, I think we're going to... I think we're just going to build up a military ship. Now, should we just design our first missile here? So I know the missile design has changed pretty dramatically because you used to have to choose... So basically with the missile design, you would have a certain size. But then within that size, you would do a percentage split between sort of some of the engine, the warhead, and I felt something else. Some sort of, was it like sensors or something like that? And so you'd be tweaking and balancing these numbers and trying to get them where you wanted in some fashion. And that has changed over here. MSP, is it like missile size points? We don't have the glossary on this page. But it's something like that. I think we can change this. I can say, listen, I want a size 10 missile. Or how many, this is total, this might still be percentage. Maneuver rating, size, so this is just adding it up now. So, oh yeah, that's what it was. You would sort of figure out how big of a missile you were supporting, because you have to design a missile launcher, right? Now I'm remembering the process. Yeah, missile launchers over here. So you design this and you design it for a certain size. Let's say, okay, we're going to do missiles of size 2 is sort of the idea. And then you over on this side, you'd be like, okay, I need to get my missile to be a size 2. Right now, it's a size 1. So we've got a little bit of room to play with. Do we want to add more warhead? Do we want to add more fuel capacity? There's agility reactor. It can have its own sensors as well so that it can zero in on things. I have no idea the correct play to design a missile. Because I don't know what we're going to be competing against. And then we can also tweak the power. So if we go half speed, so this is a missile that's going to go half as fast, but go quite a bit further. We got a range, we got different things. I don't know. Finally have fractional sizes for missiles, no more aliasing, that's good. I mean, we could also just do laser beams. Pew pew. You spent 2 hours doing missile design on your game. Yeah, no, this is one of the things that you can spend a lot of time on. And there's a lot of little tweaks. It's interesting, the no engine. Why would you make a no engine missile? Would that be to make effectively mines? Would that be mines that trigger on proximity? And yeah, you used to have to design a missile engine, I think, over here. You'd have to design a missile engine, then put it in here, or something really weird like that. Now you don't have to do that. I think you do it all here, where you sort of choose the size and the power, so you don't have to design it ahead of time. Sensor buoy or mine. And what I really like is you can have it staged as well. So you can have like a multi-stage missile, right? The first stage is even like basically has no warhead. So, but it's just a launch, and then at a certain point it launches the second stage, so you can get really extended range. Any fans of the Honor Harrington series will know they get the multi-stage missiles at some point in the series. David Weber, there you go. Ha ha! Giant Mimir. Exactly. 2-stage, second stage is a mine. Oh, that is kind of interesting. Because, yeah, you can launch the stage, have it travel somewhere, and then detach and just leave a mine behind. I don't know if this is right, but I tend to focus on 3 things with missile. Percentage chance to hit, 5 kilometers, warhead value, which you want to be an integer square number, and distance, as distance relates to sensor size. Right, I now remember some of the things you would consider. You'd be like, what is the sensor range of my ship? And then I want, yeah, it is great that it's like, because it's super realistic, right? But all these systems interconnect with one another. It doesn't make sense to make a missile that goes further than you can see. Although you can do weird things where you have like dedicated sensor ships as opposed to whatever, because I think they can share certain information. You sort of figure out your like your sight range and then work out from there, okay, how much fuel do I need? And then after that you want, you know, things to go sort of as fast as possible. And maybe we'll just start with lasers. Once you're chasing down an enemy or have a sensor bubble buddies. Yeah, center buddies. Or yeah, and chasing changes some of the math too, because of the efficient distance. Kinetics. A lot of people want lasers. Maybe we'll start with lasers. Or something. Now there's at least 4 different, because there's lasers, meson cannons, particle beam, plasma carronade, rail guns. That's 5. Gauss cannon, 6. High power microwave, is that a gun too? 7. Railguns sound fun. Everyone wants railgun because then we can make more, you know, sort of references to that, to the Mass Effect, you know, Sir Isaac Newton's the deadliest son of a bitch in space kind of thing. Rail laser. Railgun, fun gun, laser is point defense. Use the microwave so we can eat what we kill. Gauss is always a good secondary point defense. Nice. Railguns plus box launch missiles is fun. Gauss you can use as point defense. Yeah, railguns are kinetic weapons, but so are Gauss weapons, right? So what's our deal? If we, is there, okay, when Aurora, the C# version of Aurora 4X happened, and you clicked on a window button here, it would actually open a new window every time, which was undesirable. Now it actually reuses the window, which is great. Is there still a way to force a second window? If I hit shift click? No, control, alt. I don't know if there's still a way to force a second window to be open, because it would be interesting to have side by side compare a railgun to a Gauss. Meson cannons make pretty good point defense, or PPDs, because they ignore armor. Railguns hit harder and longer range, but lower rate of fire. So let's take a look here. Railgun, so the default, like what I've got right now, because we haven't actually unlocked any tech here, is 10,000 range. Damage per shot is 4. Why does it say 4-1? I don't know. And a 15 fire rate. So if we compare to a Gauss, range is the same. Damage output is 1. It doesn't say 4-1. Is that rate of fire 2 shots every 5 seconds instead of 1 every 15. So definitely fires a lot faster. Oh, railguns fire 4 shots per fire. Really? So these are like shotguns. So even though rate of fire is 15 seconds, it's actually in a sense faster than that because it's 4 shots per shot. It's sort of the same mathematically as taking 1 shot every 15 divided by 4, however much that works out by. Railgun needs power plant, Gauss does not. Gauss can turret, rail cannot. Oh! It seems complicated when introducing missiles. I mean, missiles are more complicated. So what if we just, do Gauss from the start? What I'm doing here is I'm basically just building a police ship. We're not even concerned about real combat. We're just building a ship that, we're just building a ship that counts as protection as a basic. So you can make a spinal mounted railgun. Yeah, in fact, I think we have the spinal tech. Might still just be in the tree here. Hold on. I think we did on. Oh no, it's in the list. Spinal mount over here. If it's a police ship, why not use fighters? I mean, that does sound really cool. I don't know how to make fighters yet. We literally may not have the tech for it. Okay, I'm gonna go with the expectations that we're never really gonna truly fight with this. We're gonna go and make a garbage ship as our practice one. Gauss cannon, Rate of fire 2. So it does say 2 every 5 seconds. So this does fire fast. So range is fixed. Size versus accuracy. So this is 6 hull size, I think, and about 100% accurate. We go down here. It's smaller, but we don't get the accuracy math over here, do we? I don't know. We'll make the big one. Token defense ship. We might call it that. Oh, I need to... Hold on a sec. Where's my Moobot? We're gonna need some viewer names again. But 1 minute. Where's the giveaways? Redo. Archive and redo it. Create. All right. If you guys go ahead and... A Tolkien defense ship. That's nice. If you do a hashtag name in chat, there you go, like Weird Darkness, it should enter you into a draw. There you go. You only have to do it once. It's once per username. If you do it too much, you might get blocked because of spamming. There you go. That's filling up quickly. Lovely. I'm gonna draw a name. Henzu. All right. Henzu. Ballistics. Are you just all about the guns? Is there an alliteration? Is there a good H word we can use for this company? Like Henzu Industries. No, that's no good. Daka. Henzu Daka Corp. There you go. Daka. So Gauss Cannon R100-100. I think this is a short form of, like, is it the range modifier and range? As a bit of a hint here, I think it might be. Might also be related to the velocity. But okay, we're gonna have a gun that's got an effect. It's got a range of 10,000 kilometers. Great. So we're gonna go ahead and create that. I guess we could prototype it first, and then mess around with things. I mean, we don't have any modifiers over here. Tell you what, let's just create the project. That's going to be fine. It'll take 2 seconds. We might just instant it. And then what we might want is some active sensors. Yeah, not missile fire control, but active sensors. Yeah, these actually have really good range. I mean, maybe we don't need this at all. Isn't 10K the minimum engagement distance? I don't know. Yeah, Van Halen Dynamics is really good for the jump drives. Whoever, like, a few people mentioned it, or probably one person mentioned it first, and a few people were repeating it in chat last time, but it was 100%, like, brilliance. Okay, let's, you know what we don't have either? We don't have a military engine. I mean, we could just put a commercial engine on this ship. Actually, to save money, maybe it's just a fine way to do it. Can we just call, like, I mean, it's more like a system defense ship. It probably won't even have jump engines. I'm gonna call this. Do we want to just call this like a little? Are we just making a Corvette? Yeah, maybe. You know, just a small ship size, basically. Again, what we pick here for these names, they don't mean anything. They're just for our purposes for organization. It's very convenient that way. We go to the research window. Missile kinetic weapons. Henzu Daka Corp. We'll just instant because we still have our instant research points. I need to refresh tech. There it is. Gauss cannon. More Daka. Okay. This is going to be a military vessel. That's fine. How do we find out how many protection points this is worth? What is PPV? Planetary protection value of 6. We need 3 for Mars, although it's going to grow as its population grows. This is going to provide 6. Now, as far as I know, as long as the ship is anywhere in the system, it will provide that value, right? Call it police force. AC or DC energy weapons, are they done cheap? A gunboat sort of fits as well. A monitor is a little ship with a huge gun, so maybe. Although these are, this also feels a little bit like those river boats in Vietnam. That they're basically little speedboats, and then they would have just like big machine guns strapped in the front, the back, the this, the that. Were they called corvettes? Can't remember. PT boats. Yeah, or swift boats. Yeah. What does PT stand for? It's whiskey and chocolate. Patrol boats. I wonder if they just have a designation for it. I don't know if we can type our own in here. I don't think so. It's, oh my gosh. It's whiskey and chocolate. I mean, raiders, reconnaissance craft. I mean, they don't have, I mean, they do have patrol vessel, patrol ship, patrol cruiser. Call it the PBR, the Patrol Boat River. Maybe I'll just call it a patrol ship over here. That sounds fine to me. No one, thank you very much. Is this short enough to display correctly? Never seen this game before, so totally lost. I wonder if I slipped the decimal point on the animation. Keep up with the new content. Thank you. No one here is what he appears, who shortened his name, his or her name, so that it shows up properly, or hopefully better in here. It is still long though. Patrol torpedo. Thank you. Hey, Rockmate, thanks to the bits as well. New hull, bottom right. Is that how you would make a new one of these designations? Is that what that is, really? Oh, that's cool. Although, is this the name that's then asked for the short form? Is it a two-step process? Here, let's try it. Here, let's call it, what am I gonna call it? As a class. Martian police. We can just be the police boats. Petra boats. System patrol craft. I like it. System patrol craft. Ah, SPC. Ah, that's cool. All right, excellent. I like it. It didn't actually update over there. Do I have to click it again? There it is. System patrol craft. Excellent. All right. Do you need ammo for these? I mean, a Gauss cannon just fires little metallic slugs, so I wouldn't think it needs specialized armament design. So I'm assuming nothing. System Minecraft, that's good. So I don't think there's any reason we can't put a commercial drive on this. It has stupid range. It has too much fuel. How do you get wide view? There we go. Comes in with a large fuel store. Let's give it a regular one. Even then, like, it's ridiculous. Let's say you'll deploy for like 24 months at a time. So 2 years. So it can run for like a year and a half at full power, which it's not going to be doing. Commercial drives have severe maintenance costs. That's right, which is way more important here, isn't it? Yeah, because the annual failure rate is really high, I think in large part because of the commercial drive. Yeah, now it goes down to 3%. Now, we could add more engineering spaces, but I think it makes more sense to finally design a military engine. Oh, that's true. Our gun isn't turreted. So our own speed is important for being able to turn the gun. Not that we're going to be fighting with this thing. So let's say we go back to our research projects. Let's design an engine. So ion drive technology. And so we don't want to make our engine big in this case because we want it to count as military, which it is. I think the engine has to be at least size 25 to be civilian. Or is it 50? Or is it about cutting something else down instead? No, it's still military. Is it engine power? There it is, engine power. Okay, your engine power has to be below 50% to count as commercial. That's the one. But here, yeah, we'll just have high engine power. And engine size, I don't feel like it has to be very big. We could calculate, based on how big we think the ship is going to be, we could come out with some speed calculations and things. But we'll do that. Of course, we'll have the best fuel consumption rates. But we'll go with a size 25. The engine power is 312. It's still going to be faster than the commercial drive, despite being quite smaller. And that's because we're not nerfing its engine power over here. Whereas the commercial drive, you really want to go as small engine power as possible so that your fuel stretches as much as you can. And yes, military jump engines with military engines, we need to pair them up. I'm not planning on putting a jump engine on this, I think. This is limited to the single system. It's just here to police Mars, and to teach us how to make a military ship as a practice. This is our practice ship. And yeah, I don't think there's an installation instruction. I think you're just downloading the folder and that's it. And then download the patch and overwrite a couple of files. I'm just gonna pick this sort of arbitrarily. Oh, not Henzudaka Corp. I think AR Farazon, which is the company that developed the Ion Drive for us, I think they're also going to design the military version. They're the ones who had the Ion Drive breakthrough. In my head, they actually developed the military version first, then they were still tweaking it, right? Because they were doing it with like government grants and things. But then side by side, of course, they were developing a commercial variant of it. And because the standards are lower in the commercial things, it technically hit market first. But this military one's going to be quite a bit more powerful. Quite a bit more powerful for a considerably smaller size. I think I like this. And yes, I was thinking about doing the prototype. We did that last time, and it's quite cool. I don't like how you can never like purge the list of prototypes later, but you can filter them out. This one might be worth prototyping just to see if it's anywhere close to where we're going to want to live with this thing. So if we refresh the tech and show prototypes, there you go. Engine drive, ion drive over here. If we throw this in, well, that's interesting. It's actually can only run for 15 days at full power, but monstrous range. Speed 8,000. If we compare it to our, I think IT Pindon is our jump ones, right? No? Oh, Jump Scout. I think IT Pindon and Unavon, I think these are both obsolete. We could probably get rid of them. But looking at the speed, so 1,600, 2,000, 1,400, and then 8,000 kilometer per second. This thing is fast AF. As long as it never has to move, it's fine, yeah. But it has huge range. I mean, it can go to most of our solar system. There. We might want to increase its speed, or its fuel a little bit. Let's go back to a large fuel tank over here. There you go. 75 days. I mean, so that's still not a long time, but this can cross, we can go from one extreme of our solar system to the other and back a few times. I think it's about 15 billion kilometers, more or less. What was it? Was it shift and hold? Yeah. So this is not our solar system. Let's go to Sol. Thank you. So from the sun to Neptune, it's just shy of 5 billion kilometers. So yeah, this thing here, it's like 10 times sun, Neptune, or 5 times the round trip. More than enough for a military ship, because mostly it's just going to be docked in orbit of a planet. Might be overkill, but I think that's going to be okay. Wealth finally has a place, unlike an Aurora VB. I'm curious about that. Okay, so we have N gun on here. Of course, we could add more. If we add more, it'll become more expensive, or it'll become heavier, so it'll move slower. But that's not really much of a problem. I'm kind of tempted to throw a second gun on here. So its defense value goes up to 12. It does lose a little bit of speed, but that's okay. All right, let's take a look at the maintenance math. So maintenance life. I can't remember what the maintenance life. How long the available? Oh yeah, it's just without an overhaul. Okay, so these are our maintenance supplies, 72. Or max repair is 156. So we need more total supplies because one of our parts, most likely our engine, if it breaks down, it needs more parts to fix than we carry. So we need a little bit more maintenance storage. What do we have? Oh, we have none right now. That's right. There's some default built in, but that's it. That is way more than we need. Do a small one. Oh, that's not quite enough. All right. Full maintenance storage bay it is. Now, the annual failure rate. So right now, if we take a look, after 1 year, so every year there's about a 53% chance that some component will break. It's estimated in 1 year we'll use an average of about 45 parts, and in 5 years we'll use 676, which is more than we've got. But theoretically, this is enough parts to last us maybe 3 years in space. We've got a deployment time of about 24. Maintenance life is 4 years over here. That's the expectation. I wonder if we just went 2 smalls. That might be better. We've got enough to fix any one part. That's okay. Maintenance cycle is bigger than our deployment time, which is important for our military ships because morale and things is a thing. Oh, that's right. And if a ship is orbiting something with maintenance facilities, facilities will handle maintenance and freeze the failure chance and decay. And that counts like planetary stuff, right? So if you're in orbit around Earth and Earth has ground-based maintenance facilities, it'll be okay. I think we'll go with this. We could drop the annual failure rate by adding more engineering stations. And that's another way to sort of balance it out. And there might be some math that's like, okay, well, if I add more maintenance bay, because it lowers the failure rate, which means we need fewer parts, so then we can maybe cut back on parts. And yeah, so there might be some sort of balanced sweet spot. Well, that went back up to 51%. Oh, adding... Oh, because I did the wrong one. No. There we go. Actually, technically it wouldn't be able to repair the biggest one. We would put back like a tiny maintenance storage. There we go. Maybe something like this. I think it works out to about the same in terms of how much weight we're packing. Oh, and the engineering spaces has some of it too. I see. All right, I'll probably just do this. Downside of commercial engine. We don't have the commercial engine on here though. We have a military engine. Yeah, I mean we have the prototype. We can't actually build this ship, but this is the military version of the engine here. Now, what if we make an engine that's smaller than this? This might be too much. Clearly, it runs very, very, very fast. If we had a smaller engine, first of all, the ship would weigh less, so you get a little bit more efficiency of, like, you know, weight to power ratio, and it would need fewer parts to fix it. I don't think the prototype... No, the prototype is not a real part. It just lets you add it to the design so you can see what it's like. But as far as I know, it doesn't hurt any of the stats because you can't actually use the prototype, right? I think, as far as I understand it. If you added the commercial, AFR would be 120. Yeah, the commercial engine, the AFR was like 150% or something like that. Oh, right. Ship has weapons, but no beam fire control. So we have to design that. So the beam fire control is a module over here, beam fire control. And so this is the computer part that actually deals with the aiming. Keep in mind our guns, our Gauss cannons, only have a range of 10,000. So 20,000, this is how long we can target things, so great, but overkill, but we can't go any smaller than this, so it's fine. There's the fire control speed rating here, which is this how, does it have to do with, like, the relative movement? Like, if someone is moving, like, sideways to me, is it their speed that it deals with? So if someone's moving straight towards me, their relative speed is 0, right? So I think that has to deal with the tracking there. Yeah, of course you research the prototype. Yeah. We'll have to research prototype part, and then we can actually build a ship with it. Right now we just get to play with it like a dummy. So I think that's what that is here. Now, one of the things is, and yeah, you can make it bigger or smaller to change our range. Which actually, there you go, 10,000. Do we want the range of the sensor to be exactly the same as our weapon range? Bigger, smaller? That's actually something I don't know. Also, like, we can toast our tracking speed over here, which we might do for this one because it's kind of because we don't really need it to be real, right? By the time that a ship's going to get in real combat, we're going to have better parts, so we could just cheap out on this. How does the tracking speed or and some of that interact with the fact we don't have a turret? Like, we're going to aim using the ship. How agile is our ship compared to a turret? Is it just use our raw speed directly? That I don't know. From memory, it takes the slower of your speed or turret speed, and your fire control is your max tracking speed. That makes a lot of sense. Bigger to acquire targets so they go into range. Oh, I see. I like that logic. Right. So, it's too bad there's not a 75% range option. That's annoying. So we've got 50%, 100%, which is the normal, or 150%. There's no sort of 75% range. I guess we'll go normal. But yeah, I like that. So this allows us to acquire targets before they come into range, so they're locked on, and then as soon as they get within range, the firing starts to happen. Okay, that could be pretty useful. Sensors longer than weapon range in case ECM reduces your range. That's true too. Does ECM reduce the beam control range. So if someone is using like countermeasures to screw with our sensors, I don't know if it affects this or only our sensor range. That I don't know. Yes, ECM also lowers this. Okay, so we definitely do want that lower. Anyway, there's really nothing for us to tweak over here. Other than maybe the tracking speed. And I don't know what we want to do with the tracking speed. Since if we had a turret, we'd know the turret's tracking speed and we tweak there. I have no idea how this interacts with our ship. So I'll just leave it normal and call that good enough. What company is going to be in charge of this? Maybe I'm going to think that Henzu Daku Corp is selling us the complete package. Everything that isn't the missile is a beam weapon. Okay, that's good to know. Fire control has a percentage chance to hit equal to maximum range minus target distance divided by maximum range. Oh, okay. So the higher the maximum range allowed here, it does actually affect our chance to hit. Maximum range minus target distance divided by maximum range. So if they're literally on top of us, so the distance is 0, then it's maximum range divided by a maximum range, so 1.0 or 100%. If they're halfway between, you know, if their target distance is half our maximum range, then we'll have a 50% chance to hit. So right now, since this max range is 20,000 and our guns hit 10,000, closest we could reasonably fire is at 10,000, which means we'd have a 50-50 chance to hit. Okay. Again, this ship we're hoping never actually gets into any combat whatsoever, but we sort of are doing this to sort of learn things. So 50-50 at engagement range, and then it gets better as it gets within it. I don't know. Let's call that arbitrarily good. And I'm actually going to create this one. And it will show up in our research window. Not the research window. Yeah, no, there we go. All right. Is it under sensors and control systems? Henzu, yeah, there we go. Instant that, it only costs us 10. Easy peasy. And refresh the tech. Beam fire control. Done. Okay, no more errors in place. I don't remember what these numbers are. This was definitely a thing, but I can't recall what this is. Does this have to do with like range bands? I can't remember what this is. But theoretically, we have a functional ship here. It's not going to be good, I think, but I think it's theoretically functional. We could go and produce this if we go and elevate the engine from... Was it the engine that was a prototype? Yeah. Elevate the engine from prototype to final design. We don't have an active sensor. I mean, we haven't even developed one. But I'm gonna... Do we need a sensor? If we don't have a sensor, maybe we can't spot things at all. Well, I think our planets and things have some passive sensors. And I think it gets shared. And within our system, it might not be a problem. But yeah, we should probably go and add it in. How do you... Oh, research prototype. There it is. Like, cool. So I'm going to hit that button. RP is in there, which means it should show up in the list of things for power and propulsion. There it is. Ooh, that's quite expensive. I think I'll actually research this properly. We don't actually have any power and propulsion work being done. Pull off from the tractor beam project. And then Maddox Sackville Baggins is going to research our ion drive technology, which will be done in just 2.5 months or so. That seems fine to me. All right, active sensors. Oh, right, I pulled this up, but we hadn't actually finished it. We can change the sensor size. And then depending on the size of the object we can track, but this is pretty... Seems like pretty good range. Obviously, if something has ECM or something, or cloaking, they can lower that, but I don't know. We'll leave it in there. We'll keep it as small as it can be. Call it a search center. Big engines are complicated, turns out. I mean, we could have made it smaller. Hey, Bucky lasted. Yeah, almost 2 years. Is this too big? Do we want to make this smaller? Now, I want to pick a company for this. I think that might be different from some of the others. Yeah, I think we want a new company for our sensor work. And pull another name out of the draw. Hakoon! Hakoon, geosensing. Except we gotta drop a letter. Because Hakoon's really good at GeoGuessr, and that's the vibe I'm going for. Sensing. There you go, with no I. Hakoon, geosensing. Tech. Technologies. Something like this, I think. This game looks like you're deep in Windows driver management or something. 100%. Hakoon Matata. That would be pretty funny too. Okay, I didn't see anything in the chat about this being super dumb. It's a small sensor. This one counts as pretty small, and this is all we need. Okay. So I'm going to create this as an actual project. That's 100. We'll just instant that. Just to avoid fiddling around with this. So now we have to wait for our engine project to be done, which is fine. Interesting. I thought this sorted things based on what's going to complete first. And this is going to complete first. Maybe it's sorting it based on how many labs are assigned. It could be. All right, I think we can start advancing time now. Oh, it is sorted by labs. There you go, sort by date. Thank you. Didn't even notice there was a button there. Yeah, we can probably start advancing time. Continue capacity. Oh, nice. So, oh, actually, that's a good question. What is the size of our ship? I think our size of our ship's pretty small. Well, now that's interesting. I minimize this window, and clicking this button doesn't unminimize it, which is a little awkward. Yeah, this is only 2.6 or K tons, so 2,600 tons, which is tiny. Because we just got a message that on our planet here, our shipyards on Earth, we've been, 2 Foot Industries. This was our civilian thing. We were embiggening that, I think, so that we can build bigger freighters. Do we want to... Okay, if we're going to settle it Alpha Centauri, now we don't have to rush it. We're still building up Mars. You know, we don't have to go crazy. But at some point, we are going to need a jump-capable colony ship. Or we need to start building jump gates, which I think might be prepared. I think, or preferred. I was just looking at the naval shipyards. We have tons of capacity for what we need. We don't need to start embiggening these right now. Although it might not be a terrible idea to start working on embiggening these shipyards for the future. Well, the one with like 3 slipways is going to be the most expensive or the most time consuming to build up. So maybe we just start building this one up because we can use these smaller ones. We'll have to retool them for this new ship design, but that's going to be okay. You need a jump gate on both sides, really. So your jump gate construction ship, which is what the stabilizing, would also need a jump drive itself. The age of men doesn't end, exactly. So I'm going to do continual capacity upgrade on this. We're going to target 20,000. Actually, if I just say something like add 5,000, will give me a completion date. That's only going to take a couple years. It's actually not so bad. I'm going to tell it, oops. I'm going to tell it to add 10,000 capacity. Just get to work. We won't need you. Well, no, let's do this. It's fine. Add 5,000 this, keep yourself busy, that's going to be okay, because we can still use the other ones, and that's going to be fine. Yeah, I know the shipyard upgrading does use a lot of resources. Right now, our duranium use is more than our current production. We do have a fair amount on Earth. It's going to deplete in 28 years. We could get a little bit more mining on Earth, although really a lot of the depletion is going to happen pretty damn fast. Even if we didn't add more mining. Okay, we can close this because we have to wait until the engines are done anyway. Oh, it's February! I'm like, wait, how come it finished already? That would be why. We need to rename the ship Wessel at some point too. So it automatically updated with this engine that it's no longer a prototype. So theoretically, we could start building this. Yes? No? You only need a gate on both sides if you want two-way travel. Okay, so I could build a gate on this side so we could get through to Alpha Centauri. At least and start colonizing it and send things one way. But we'd probably want both. Oh yes, the active sensor, thank you. Boom, provided by Hakoon. Oop, I double-clicked it, I think. Oh wait, no, that was the guns. Enzu and Hakoon looks a little similar. Come on. Oh, now... Hold on. You there, and put a gun back in. Double the DACA. So we have one sensor, one beam control, guns. Engineering and everything is still okay. Yes, that's looking good. And yeah, we need cargo ships that can get back in. Okay, I'm going to lock the design. And, oh, we need to rename it. Rename the class of this ship. Mubat. Draw entrant. It's the Age 3. I'm gonna capitalize all of it. This military naming can the Echo. What's J? January, July. What's J in the NATO alphabet? Echo something Hotel 3. What's J? Juliet. Thank you. That's why I was like July. No, that's not quite right. Juliet. Juliet. Echo Juliet Hotel 3. What does this stand for? This is our military designation for our first military ship. What do we want to call it? Or what does it mean? So we've already called it something. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to... Actually, hold on. Since it's got just a numeric designation, I think we want to give it a naming theme that's not the model number. We want to give it... Oh, this is sweet. We could do names beginning with E because our class starts with an E. Or name them after mountains, or lakes, or gods. Again, these are just going to be sort of just police ships, and there's probably only going to be a couple of them. Breeds of dogs. Oh, I like that. Actually, I'm going to save the breeds of dog for later, because we're not going to do a lot with this. We'll just go with names that start with E. What was that under? Oh, names. N. Looking under E. There we go. I think it goes sequentially right now. If you click this, then it'll randomize it a bit. Sequential is probably fine. Or no, you know what? No, randomize it. That's going to be okay. So if we go back to Earth and we grab, say, the Chubb Naval Shipyards. It's only got one slipway. It's the smallest. That's okay. Again, we don't need these to build quick. So we need to retool to build the Enhanced Judicial Harbinger. Oh shit, that's good. That's really good. Earth-like Justice Hull, Explosive Justice Heavy. Explosive Jalopy something. That's good. I like the Enhanced Judicial Harbinger. That's really cool. So yeah, you'll retool. It's gonna take you a few months. That activity. You're locked in. Retool. Excellent. So what we can do is we can advance time. Ooh, it stopped right away. Ooh, civilian mining in operation. The Puttyfoot Precious Metals has been established on Mercury. Nice. Oh, and we have a bunch of inactive labs because we just finished some stuff. What I'm going to do is... That's a good question. Actually, let's go back into power and propulsion for a sec. We'll do a little bit more work here. Maybe we'll just use Sadok. She's got... She, I don't know. Has got the biggest bonus. Can only do 5 labs, but they'll leave us a few extra labs for something else. Power jump size. I don't think the jump drive efficiency or anything like that matters. We can probably just squeeze in like a little bit of power engine modifier, and then we'll also throw in these other cheap ones. Power plant boost. Add to queue. Maybe we'll need capacitors for something. Sure. Engine size. Minimum power. Okay. Next, what I want to do is sensors and control system. Clearly, we could use a lot of love over here. Because we have some energy weapon tech going near ultraviolet lasers, because lasers are cool, so we put that in there. But let's also work on some turret tech. Add the queue. And then sensors and control systems, because we have none of that being worked on right now. And it could use a bunch. I don't know if there's a order we want. What's the science department do? Improves the effectiveness of any scientific endeavor in the ship. So it's serving, right? Actually, let's create a project with the science department, because we might want to upgrade our survey ships to do stuff like that. And then we'll queue up some sensor tracking, active sensors, beam fire control. These are all fairly cheap. We're just going to queue up a bunch of this. EM sensors, fire control, tracking speed, which will help with some of our turret stuff later on. I don't know, something with missiles, sure. And I guess this just makes our planets. Sensor strength of each deep space tracking station. Population has a sensor strength equal to the planetary sensor strength times the number of tracking stations. I don't know. Here, we'll add that in as well. Okay. The Earth Judicial Hound. Ain't nothing but a judicial hound. Barking all the time. Okay. Oh, no, we still have one inactive facility. Oh, because a bunch of them are maxed out. Here, we'll add one over here to the ship-to-ship tractor beam. There we go. Terraform rate has been finished. Actually, a bunch of tech is just finished all of a sudden. So we do have a bunch of labs going on. I'm kind of tempted to keep working on the terraforming rate. Even though it's getting awfully expensive. 21% bonus. You can work a lot of labs too. Taking a bite out of space crime. Since the AGH3, what happened to the first two models? Probably prototypes. I don't know. These sorts of things happen, right? Your retool. Shipyard I guess this only shows ship building in here, huh? June. Okay. Construction facilities are done. We're now starting to work on terraforming. Excellent. We'll work on shipping them over to Mars soon. Retooling is done. Okay, so on Earth, first of all, I want to specify that we're going to have a bunch of terraforming ready to ship. What is it? Civilian economy? I want to say terraforming installation. I want to add a supply. I don't know, something like 50. I don't remember how much we had queued up there. We probably have some sitting around here now. Terraforming 1. How many did I queue up? I must have been 45? I don't know. Why would I pick that? Oh, to make it a total of 50, because there's already 5 over there. That kind of makes sense. Edit this. We'll say 45. It's not there yet, but that's going to be okay. I'm not going to put in the demand on Mars yet. Although, never mind, it still has it there. Because right now we're going to get some errors. Tell you what, let's delete this for a sec. We'll just let it catch up, and that's going to be fine. And then construction facilities. Let me get rid of this. Let's let some of it get built up first. So retooling is done, so we can also start building our vessel. So right over here, the Chubb Naval Shipyards is ready to work on this. Go into, yeah, whatever. Battle fleet's going to be fine. We're going to create task. How do I make more than one at a time? Can I not do, I mean, you can make more than one at a time if you have got a more slips, but can you queue more than one? Can't queue up ship construction. What's slightly annoying, but I guess is fine. And right now, all we need is one of these police ships, and we're good. Okay, techs. Oh, survey fleet is unable to finish. Oh! Okay. So, if we go to this, survey in total 5151. Here there's fewer, but you must not have an instruction to go to the next system that needs stuff, right? Proximity Centauri isn't done. Actually, known systems 4, surveyed systems 1. Oh, because we haven't done all the grav